Hello and welcome to the Hugh Hatrick Show on a very special occasion. It is the night of the MSA Cup interviews with Tier 2. And so far, we've had one driver brave enough to join me. It is Sean, AKR TNR Jet. Good to see you, Sean.
Hey Hugh, how you doing?
I'm very well indeed. And it's good to see you. And we've been talking previously about your race this week that was actually won by Robin. And hopefully,
Yeah,
Robin, he'll be joining us hopefully a bit later on. I know he had a few things on, but he did say that he would hopefully try and join us. But it's been an eventful few races, very close. And of course, you're in the. It's that you just had the penultimate race there on Monday,
yeah.
but with the big finale to come at Monza on this Monday night. But tell me, how did your race go on Monday?
Oh, it was fantastic. So myself and TNR Vortex, or his name is Nico, good friend of mine, we put in a lot of practice. During the practice sessions, I obviously saw that I'm about half a second a lap slower than him. But because of Monza being such a high speed track, I knew that if I could just stay close to him or close to one of the other Foster guys, they'll pull you along on the straight. So the half a second a lap is negligible. The most important thing was to stay away from any penalties because it's very close. If you want to do a good lap time, you are running very close to those penalty points. And if you get a penalty, it kills you because it's on one of the long straights. And half a second equates to more than a second that you lose if you do get a penalty. So during the race, I think I only got 3 half a second penalties and I had no crashes whatsoever. The first lap, we all knew that first chicane was going to be scary. I I managed to get through there without any damage, without bumping anyone, and I quickly realized that myself and Nick and most of the TNR team had chosen to do a 3-stop race so that we could maximize our pace, through the high-speed corners and that. And we noticed that straight away, most of the other teams, they'd elected to either start on hards or mediums, which meant to us that they're probably going to attempt to do a 2-stopper, which was very risky. You have to do a lot of fuel saving. And that's why I think our strategy of a 3-stopper worked in our favor. So even if I was half a second a lap slower on outright pace, the strategy helped me to run at a higher pace for most of the race, if you want to put it that way. So I qualified in 7th, I think it was, and I finished in 4th. Although there's a report against me for turn 8 on lap 1. I bumped someone a little bit. He went a bit wide. So there's a report in. We're waiting to hear what happens about that. So I can't just crack out the bubbly just yet.
I mean, the thing is, they are intense races, and there's a lot that goes on, isn't it? And it's that one tiny wee thing, but hopefully it will work out for you both, and it will be good. And that's the thing. Everyone waits for Thursday to get the final results.
Yes.
So I know what's that's the thing, because I was trying to find out who won, what are the preliminary results, and how will it go. So yes, it's been a fantastic season so far. And then you've got the big surprise race on Monday. Now, have you found out any more details as to what it's going to be?
Yeah, it's the Gran Turismo vehicle. It's the Formula One style car. It's a F3500. And it's at Monza. And there is going to be a lot of rain. So you can imagine that car in the rain is going to be quite challenging.
Traction control on 20.
Yeah. Yeah, and the throttle is like a light switch. Yeah. So you're going to have to be very, very careful with your throttle applications. It's a high downforce car, obviously, but you can't beat the laws of physics at the end of the day.
Yeah. I know that's it, isn't it? At least, I don't know, will you be able to adjust the car at all, or is it kind of a fixed setup?
No, it's all our races are BOP. So all the cars will be in exactly the same performance, shall I say, level of performance. It's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes in the rain, and whose strat is the best. It's going to be a very, very technical race.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky. I mean, especially if you're going to start midfield on the grid as well. I mean, if it's fair enough at the front or at the back, you can allow for a bit. But I mean, in the wet as well, if it's going to be permanently wet through it, that could be really tricky. Or will it start in the dry and then end up wet, or a bit of both? That's going to be a real challenge. But a great one to see what can happen, because I know that Levi's done very well winning the last few races, but Richard has pushed him well. If there was a bit of a disaster and Levi didn't finish well on Monday, that might throw the title open a wee bit, isn't it? Because there's not too much in it.
Yeah, they're so close. I mean, I would say the top 4 guys in Tier 1, they're so close in performance. It comes down to who makes the least mistakes on the day, and where they qualify, which dictates where they're going to finish.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That we've had a little comment there from Umar, saying the struggle because there's so many crashes in the rain normally, and certainly in the F1 at Monza, like we had a couple of weeks ago. That was a really challenging race indeed. And he did say congratulations on the 10K subs. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a good week. In fact, a little bit of champagne there. You can see there's a bottle of champagne. There's also a little trophy because I won a go-kart race at the weekend, and my wife came up with me to Knockhill in Fife, in Scotland, and we raced away on a beautiful sunny day in Scotland. It's the first time I've ever raced at Knockhill at the go-kart track, and it's not been raining, or it's not been miserable and wet and windy. So it was a lovely day, and ended up we actually won the race, which was rather nice. It was a 30-lap race, and we even got a little trophy. And some champagne. And what was even better was I was the only one there who was teetotal and who wouldn't drink champagne. So so I've brought it back as a memento. But it does show you that sim racing, because there was no doubt about it, sim racing definitely helps. All practicing the lines. And last week I had a chap called Wolmid, who's a go-kart expert, and he co-hosts the Kirith channel when they do their kind of questions and answers shows. And he's actually been a Club 100 a go-kart. He's like an instructor, and he's on the stewards board as well. So he's raced against people like Super GT, because he does a lot of real go-karting. And so they were saying, what are the tips? And he says, if you're on the straight, that the last corner before the straight, that's the one you've got to get right. You're going to be early on the power, so you've got as much speed as you can. So that's what I was trying to do. And I think that definitely works for sim racing. What would you say has been your biggest improvement? I know you've been doing a lot of practice with you and Nick. You were saying earlier, what do you think has helped you gain that pace over the last few weeks?
So definitely being part of a team. Myself and Nick are both part of TNR. TNR has got about 70-something members, although I think only about 40 of them take part, or 45 of them take part in the SMA League. And in the MSA Cup, there aren't as many, but they're busy with another internal competition. But being part of a big team always helps when you start racing, because if you're a slower driver, there's always someone to follow. There's always someone to learn from. Even now that I'm in Tier 2, I mean, the Tier 1 guys are like, they're next level. So even if you watch their videos, you watch their lap guides. Levi has helped me quite a bit for the last race. For example, him and I both use Coach Dave software, the Delta software.
Yeah,
I've only just got it.
Yeah.
I only just got it probably about 3 races ago, and I can definitely see an improvement. But that Coach Dave software takes time to learn how to use it, number one. And number two, you've got to be someone who can analyze data. I've never had a problem with that. It's easier to watch a lap guide where someone is pausing it and putting an arrow and saying, this is where you brake. You know, you look for this Marshall's tower. That's where you brake. You gear down to third. You freewheel until the apex, short shift to fourth, and you pin it. That's a lot easier. But what is nice is being able to look at Levi's data compared to mine. I can replicate certain things. I can replicate where he brakes and where he turns in and what gear he's in, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to have the same lap time, even if it looks like I'm doing exactly the same thing. You know, he's like 1.5, 2 seconds a lap faster. But it does help being part of a team and having access to the faster guys' data and assistance. That definitely makes a huge difference.
Yes, no, definitely. I mean, I think it's the experience. I mean, I use a lot of the ghosts on the time trial. You know, like Tidney's ghost. I was using that for Daily Race C time trial, and he's very, very good. I mean, but you can find little bits, but you realise it's the confidence that they have to be able to turn into the bends, and they take more curb, and yet they can still hold the car right. And I don't know if my throttle is kind of moving too much or something, because there's little, just little things that I think I'm doing the same steering lock in the same line, but my car will just go wider than theirs to get around the next corner and to kind of have it all set up. So they've got so much, they can take extra curb, they can go on the grass, they can, like at Willow Springs, they can take a lot of dust and desert with them as they go around these corners. And they're still fast. You know, they seem to be able to hold it and it doesn't affect the car. So they've got great confidence in doing that. But I'm sure that does come from practice to see it all work. But
and also, sorry, Hugh, I was going to say, and also track knowledge. You know, I've only been racing online since October last year, so it's just under a year. And I found that the top guys are right on the edge of getting track limits at every single corner, and they do it for 28 or 32 laps. It takes time. That takes a lot of time behind that wheel.
No, it's definitely the practice that they put in is something. Track limits, that's a hard one, because I think sometimes you want to be realistic. I think to give it credibility for a racetrack and a combination. And it's like at Brands Hatch this week, the track limits are crazy. I mean, people are going way up onto the grass. On turn, is it 3 or 4 of it? As you can do that left-hander that you go around, and they're taking way more than even the curb and the exit. So and it doesn't give you a penalty, which I'm a little bit surprised at. But they're using that, and I'm kind of think, well, okay, to a degree, yes, they've got a point. But I think they need to bring them in a bit just to make it a bit more reasonable.
Yeah, make it realistic. You're not going to go with slick tires and go over grass in real life, and not break traction. Slick tires and grass don't mix.
Yeah, I know. No, that's the thing. Now we've got lots of people watching. We've got Shahida, we've got Umar, we've got Simon. Now Simon has said that left-hander, I expect better, Hugh. And yes, I should know Brands Hatch. I should know. I was trying to think, is it about turn 5 or 6? I'm trying to remember all the ones. But see, that's what happens when you turn 50. Well, that's my excuse anyway. But you can't even remember a few of the turns on the track. But I know that Simon, he is an expert on all things F1 and Brands Hatch especially. So I'm sure he'll tell me exactly what the name of that corner is. But no, it's quite a thing. So what do you think? Are you quite happy with the way that the whole title has gone so far? The whole season has gone for you? Do you think you made good improvements? And are you kind of looking forward to the big finale?
Yeah, definitely. So I started in Tier 3 at the beginning of the MSA Cup, and I've managed to claw my way into Tier 2 and stay there when the tiers were locked. And that was my goal. So already just staying in Tier 2 was a goal for me. I achieved that. So anything else after this is a bonus. I would have liked to have got a podium. I think Did I get a podium? You know, all the races. I'm just like you. I'm getting old now, so I tend to forget all the results. But I'm pretty sure I got a third place 3 races ago. But and I also, oh yes, I did get a third place. And the race before was at Laguna Seca, and I was lying in third place in that what do you call it? That VW IDR or whatever it's called.
Oh yes, oh yeah, that's some machine.
And and during the race, I qualified well. I got a good start, and then I pitted 1 lap too early by mistake, purely by mistake, and that meant that it was nearly impossible for me to stretch the battery life on the last stint, and I ran out of battery going through the second last corner, and I coasted across. I was in third place, or I think I was in second place actually. And Robin passed me, and eventually I ended up in 5th or 6th or something like that by just coasting. So I could have had 2 podiums by now. This last race, I finished 4th at Monza. As I said, there's a report in, so we'll find out if it's going to stay 4th or if I'm going to lose positions. But the last race coming up, I am looking forward to it. I'm actually good in open wheel cars, although it's not really part of the general league with SMA or the MSA Cup. I actually enjoy the open wheel cars. It's something different, and I feel like I'm more able to match the pace of the faster guys in Tier 2 when I'm in an open wheel car. So we'll see. I think the conditions are going to be a great leveler, though.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's going to be traction on maximum, isn't it? TC on 3, and then using very high gears as well, just to try and get out of the corners, I think, because especially if it's wet, that's going to be something. But you were saying that Robin actually won the race on Monday night.
I thought that champagne was for Robin, but now your champagne.
Well, hopefully he did well. He might be joining us a bit later on if he can get back in time. He might hopefully be joining us. It'd be good to speak to him. So he won. But he's very fast, though, Robin, isn't he? He's very fast.
Yeah, he's fast. He sits in the background. He doesn't say much. He's part of admin. You know, he does the marketing for the SMA and the MSA Cup, and so he sits quietly in the background. We're in different teams, so I don't see how much he practices. I'm assuming he does, but he's got a lot of experience. He's been around quite a few years now, so that definitely helps.
Yeah. Now, I can see that motorbike in the background. I know we've spoken about your motorbikes before, but it looks a fantastic machine there. How do you find that? Obviously, you've driven motorbikes for a long time, lots of experience on very fast. I mean, that looks like a real beast of a machine there. Does the sim racing, do you find that it's giving you that same thrill, or as near as you can get when because obviously you can't race on a bike unless you're in a proper championship and doing all that. But how do you find the kind of comparison of racing on a rig from racing on a bike?
Well, for starters, you spend less time in hospital, so it's a big plus. So racing in real life, there's danger. You know, there's the potential of injury that obviously increases your nerves, your adrenaline. I think there's more adrenaline involved in real racing. But when a race is about to start or when qualifying has started, I'm nervous on sim racing. I'm nervous, and I mean I can feel it sometimes. But once you've done 1 or 2 laps, you kind of settle, or maybe 1 lap, you'll settle in, you forget about the nerves. And it gives you the racing. It's still racing. Racing is racing. It's just that in real life, obviously, the fact that there's the potential to get hurt, being able to experience the people around you as you're going into the first corner is a little bit more intense, shall I say. I don't know what the guys experience that use VR headsets. Maybe maybe headsets make it closer to reality. But I mean, the only thing you don't have is the smell of the tires. in sim racing, or the brakes. But besides that, racing is racing. I enjoy it. As I said, it's something I've replaced my racing with. The real racing with is sim racing.
Yeah, yeah. Now we've got a quick question from Umar, who's one of our very much strongest supporters. That Noel on my channel, who's been there now for a wee while. And Umar always watches all of our shows, which is always very kind of him, and always asks me when is the next one. So we are going to be streaming again tomorrow morning for the time trial, because there'll be a new time trial. So normally from about 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll be there. Might be a little bit before, probably about 9:45. I try and get started by then. But he's also asked, are you from Johannesburg, Sean, or are you living in Johannesburg?
Yes, I'm from Johannesburg. I was born in Port Elizabeth, the Windy City, and
right.
I think when I was, 10 years old, we moved to Johannesburg, and I've been here ever since.
Wow, it's a fantastic place. But I've noticed you're wearing a coat, so it must be cold where you are.
Yeah, it's the complete opposite to what you're wearing right now,
Yeah,
Hugh.
I know. I was going to say, if it's warm for me, if I can wear a t-shirt in the northeast of England, it must be very different, or I must be feeling the heat. I've got my window open here, and it is about 18 degrees, I think, thereabouts. It's been reasonable.
No, it's single digits here at the moment.
Oh, that's cold. Well, it is the winter for you, isn't it?
In the evening, in the evening. I mean, like now, it's definitely single digits.
Yeah.
But during the day, it gets up to about, I don't know, I work in Pretoria, so it's probably around 20 degrees in Pretoria and maybe 18 degrees at midday over here.
Yeah.
But it's very cold in the mornings and the evenings,
Yeah, I know, that's the thing. That and talking of weather, I mean, I think what's great about this championship is that they are giving you not just nice sunny days, but they're giving you lots of challenging weather, rain, and they don't have snow, but they've suddenly got rain and a few others. In fact, Umar's saying it's 3 degrees. It feels like 3 degrees in South Africa. But well, I'm amazed we're actually warmer. It's very rare that I can say that it's warmer here in the UK than it is in a kind of more tropical country like South Africa, where you have that great heat and things. But no, it's fantastic. So who do you think in your tier is going to be champion by the close of play on Monday?
Nick, my friend Nick.
Yeah.
So they are very fast guys. I don't want to mention names because I'll probably upset the guys that I don't mention. But there are some very quick guys. Myself and Nick are the only two guys from TNR in tier 2. So like MGR has got a big team in tier 2. Puma's got quite a few guys in tier 2. So it's a little bit more challenging if there's only two of you, because there's less chance that you can be able to work together. If you get separated during the race, like we did this last week. But Nick is already in the lead, and I'm confident my friend will win.
Well, so that's the thing. Well, I hope things do go well for this final race on Monday. It sounds like it's going to be an absolute cracker. We'll be watching that for sure. And putting in the comments to wish you all the best. I think for the tier 1 race, it's going to be very exciting, and then hopefully we're going to have a big interview. It won't, if it's not next week, it'll probably be the week after, where we're going to be talking about the whole championship, and we'll have lots of people in. So you'll be always welcome to come back on for that in 2 weeks' time. And we're also got a special F1 report as well. We're going to do a kind of half-term report, or as half the F1 year has now been completed. We're going to do a special on the Formula 1 season so far with Levi. Levi is going to join us, and that's going to be on Tuesday, the 19th of August in the evening. Probably be round about 8 o'clock. South African time, I think, thereabouts, but we'll get that all confirmed. So no, that has been the thing. What has been your kind of most incredible moment, or one of the most incredible things that you've seen in the championship, where you think, my goodness, they got away with that? Have there been any kind of crazy moves, crazy overtakes? What's been the thing that stunned you the most?
There's, it depends where you are in the field as to what you get to see. The only time you get to see problems of other drivers that aren't around where you were in the race is when a report comes through.
Yeah.
And unless they share their video or it's available, you don't really know. But I mean, I've seen normally on lap 1, first corner in a lot of the races is hairy. There are a few guys that, shall I say, are more aggressive than others.
Yeah.
I'm generally not an aggressive driver, and I think it's ingrained in me from riding those crotch rockets. If you're too aggressive on those things or you bump someone, you're off generally. And that's kind of ingrained in me. So even though I know I'm not going to get hurt if I crash in a sim, I'm still more cautious, perhaps, like that Nick. When Nick and I practice together, he's way more aggressive than me. So yeah, I think it's there's quite a few guys that are in tier 2 that are quite aggressive. I don't want to say too much more because they're not yet to defend themselves. I'd rather, if someone was here, I'd say, no, listen, what about that move at Red Bull or whatever the case? So yeah, there's aggressive drivers, and there are some overtaking maneuvers that you think he's going to get a penalty, that's not going to last. But yeah, it's all good fun. At the end of the day, we're racing here and we are trying to grow the sport together. Yes, we tend to bump elbows once in a while and tempers flare. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're all here to have fun, and the more people we can bring into the sport, the better. So we need to keep that in mind.
Yeah. In fact, we've just had a quick query from Simon. He says, "I thought you meant live stream a watch along of a race." I haven't done that yet, to be fair. That might be something that I would that I could do, is to because I know there's screens you can get for free that downloads that can have all the positions of where the cars are and what's happening, and then we can have a good on chat to see what's going on. And if you've got access to F1 as well, you can watch it live on another screen, but still watch this and do a lot. Yes, maybe we need to do that, Simon. That would be fun, actually. That would be a good laugh. And see if we can share a screen as well. That would work. And ideally, if I could somehow manage this and put it onto my portrait channel, we'd have thousands of people across the globe being able to see it, which is the thing. And Umar has asked, he said, do you have a Discord? I do indeed. Now I don't have it in the chat here, but it is in there. I'll need to advertise that. I'll need to put the link in the description. But we do have the description, the link for the SMA YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed to that, you can do so. It's in the description. It would be great to see more and more people watch that, as it is South Africa's top GT7 racing league. Well, thank you very much, Sean. You've been the only one brave enough, as we said at the start, to pop in tonight, to be able to come along, and you've answered hundreds of questions from me. So well done on that. But it's been a pleasure to have you along this evening, and I hope that your championship continues to go well and that you get a really good result for the final race there on Monday. And then it's a bit of a break before the next championship starts in the autumn time. I think it's about September probably when that one starts.
Yeah, September.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And look who's come to join us just at the last minute there. Floor Genius Gaming. Sean, it's good to see you. He's only half an hour late, but no, it's good to see you. We'll have to get Sean. I've been trying to get Sean on the show for ages. In fact, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, when we have our big MSA Championship finale interview, we'll get Flawed and the new commentary team as well on board, along with the top drivers and the finalists and the champions, and we'll get them all on, and we'll be able to ask them questions, and it'd be great to have Sean in there as well. But in fact, you're all called Sean. You'll be wondering, what is he talking about? But Floor Genius as well as you, your good self, Sean, TNR Jet. But yeah, no, it's been fantastic. But yeah, well, we will see you we'll find out what happens on Monday night as to how you get on. But all the best for the race, and it's been great having you on the show tonight. And hopefully we'll hear from Robin another time. But take care. And for everyone watching, it's been the Hugh Hatrick Show, the MSA Cup Tier 2 interviews with our very brave and only solo panelist it is, Sean, aka TNR Jet. It's been a pleasure to have you, Sean, and it's
Thank
good
you.
to see you. And remember our motto, drive fast, don't crash. You can now even buy the cap. Take care, everyone. We'll see you very soon. Bye just now.
Cheers.